If you're planning on buying a home or in the process of buying a home, here are 6 things that I recommend that you don't do during the home buying process to make sure that your home purchase is as smooth as possible. Hi, I'm Jason Skinrood, mortgage loan officer in Salt Lake City, Utah with licenses in multiple states. And wanted to say thank you for stopping by, checking out this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like the content and consider subscribing to my channel. Now this list is not necessarily an exhaustive list, but over my almost 2 decades of doing mortgage loans, this is probably the most common 6 things that I see people do that jeopardize their financing when buying a home. The first tip that I have is in regards to your work schedule. So I've seen clients make changes to their work schedule that has a negative impact on their pay, and it at times can prevent them from qualifying or even making it more difficult for them to qualify. And so don't make any changes to your work schedule. Also, one thing to note, if you are planning on making an employer change during the course of a home purchase, that's okay. Just make sure that you talk to your loan officer about doing that and how to properly do that so that you don't create any issues or problems when it comes to underwriting and you being able to get your financing. The second tip that I have is in regards to moving money around in accounts. When you move large sums of money around between accounts, then we have to create a paper trail for those deposits, and sometimes that can open up a can of worms with regards to those other accounts that money is coming from. So avoid doing that if you can. And then also, if you're receiving gift funds from either like a family member or some other allowable source, do not deposit those funds into your account, because again, that creates some additional documentation and can create some obstacles for you when it comes to qualifying for financing. My third tip is related to the second tip, and that is not to deposit large sums of cash into your account. Again, anytime you make large deposits or transfers into your accounts, we have to document those. And when you're doing that with cash, it's really hard to document it, and at times that money can actually end up being excluded. And so you can't use it for things like down payment, closing costs, or some of the other expenses that are related with buying a home. My fourth tip of things not to do is don't have your credit pulled by someone else. Once you've gotten your pre-approval and you're under contract, don't let another loan officer or anyone else pull your credit, because that could have a negative impact on your credit score, which may move you down into the next pricing tier with interest rates and possibly even disqualify you from getting financing altogether. Now, the reason why I say that is because every single inquiry that is made on your credit during the course of the previous 120 days, those all have to be explained and could possibly prevent you from being qualified. My fifth tip is also credit related, and that is do not open any new accounts. So regardless of whether you're getting a promotion on furniture, on appliances, anything like that, do not open any new accounts, because again, that could negatively impact your credit score. And also, new payments from those credit accounts could disqualify you from being able to qualify. Now, if something happens where you have to get that new account, always talk to your loan officer first to let them know so that they can talk you through or guide you through how to properly do that so that it doesn't affect your qualification. My sixth tip is probably the most obvious, and believe it or not, I've had a client do it before, and that is don't quit your job before you close. Again, it goes back to that making any changes to your employment. Don't do that. Don't quit your job. If you quit your job before you get your loan, you're not going to be able to get your loan. As a loan officer, I want you to know that we understand that life happens and sometimes things come up. You have emergencies, and your best solution is always to talk to your loan officer first before you make or take any actions, because they'll be able to help guide you through that process and help you know how to structure it properly so that it doesn't affect your qualification. If you have additional tips of things not to do, drop them down in the comments below, and thank you for watching. Check out one of my other videos to help you learn a little bit more about the home buying process and answer some of your questions.